welcome to the behind the scenes. I'm on Cadair Berwyn. It's day one, night one. I'm pitched about 50 to 100 metres off the summit, just behind the camera. We have a view down to Lluncaws, which I think translates as the cheese lake, or the lake of cheese. It's circular and it has a load of weeds in it. I took some drinking water out of there last summer. I was a bit concerned about it, but I'm still here. Lluncaws is just down there. I've got the first time lapse up, getting sunset and hopefully a bit of Astro if this cloud stays away. Nice flat pitch, grassy pitch. Looking down on the right to Moel Sych. Moel Sych means dry hill. It's or Moel is I think if you're bald, you're called Moel. Moel is bald. It's a bald hill, and you'll see there. It's a bold, dry hill. I've carried a lot of water up today. I've carried 8 litres of water. Big heavy bag, 25 kilogram Bergen, because of dry hill, and I don't want to. If I am stopping up here for 3 days, I'm unsure about that at the moment. You'll probably know before I do, because this will be at the end of the video. I don't want to have to dip back down a few hundred metres to the lake. So 8 litres of water, dry hill, cheese lake. I parked the car at Pistyll Rhaeadr. My pronunciation's terrible. It's the waterfall at Pistyll Rhaeadr. Maybe Pistyll is waterfall, I'm not sure. I need to look that up. It's down the valley, a few miles away. Fairly easy walk. I've used this spot before. Brought the kids here when they were 8 or 9 and they got up here just fine. Cracking sunset, lovely colours. This high cirrus cloud is going to look really nice. There was a potential for some fog and cloud inversion over the next day or two. Unsure if we're going to get that. It's got very humid. There's a layer of haze low down on the horizon in all directions, particularly over in the west though, where it's covering the mountains. I can just see past Bala onto Snowdonia. I think a glimpse of the Lluncaws earlier today when the visibility was better, and none of those summits are coming out of the cloud. This layer of fog at the moment, so we'll see how lucky we get with that. We could well get fogged in. Maybe if the temperature drops enough, this layer of haze, fog and cloud will sink down and keep the summits exposed, which would be fantastic, but at the moment it's not looking too promising. We'll see how that goes. Clear sky potential is, I don't know, 50-50 I guess. This sort of V bank of cloud has stuck around all afternoon. The time lapse will be interesting because this has barely moved. The wind has been 10-15 knots from west to east, a westerly wind. It's easing off a little bit now, but weirdly this upper level at, I don't know, 10,000 feet or so stayed exactly there. So we'll see. I'm going to get some steaks on and I'll do another BTS tomorrow. Good morning. We got well and truly fogged in last night. I had to abort the time lapse. That low cloud we're looking at in the west rolled in thick and fast and completely engulfed everything on this ridge just after sunset. The time lapse up until then that I wanted to get of the lake and Moyle Seek behind was fantastic at sunset. Really nice, great colours, lovely cloud, nice and slow moving, and then all of a sudden, bang, wiped out. It got fairly windy, about 20 knots, cold, about -3, -4, wind chill down towards -10, and very humid. There's a lot of moisture in the air. It was freezing fog. Everything it touched turned white. The tent this morning was white over. The camera, battery bank and tripod started to get iced up, so I aborted it at about 8 p.m. And got it in the tent. I went to sleep, got an early night. I set my alarm for 2 a.m. to check the weather, and we were still fogged in. Set it again for 3 a.m. and there was a few breaks in the cloud, so I decided to give it another go. This time though, pan left, looking at the side of Cadair Berwyn. That's the summit just up there, and out into this lovely valley with sunrise in the distance. Before that we had moonrise as well, just to the left, which was nice to see. There's a good old full moon a couple of days ago. I think it was the snow moon or something. It was incredibly bright as it rose. It made this scene up here feel quite surreal. That low fog that was wafting in from the west was illuminated in that eerie moonlight. There's no need for a torch, and it was nice to be out in at 3 a.m. but not so great for filming. So we're repositioned here. Sunrise, it's hard to tell how good that time lapse will be, because the fog continued to roll in and waft down. I've got the time lapse set at 40-second intervals, which means with that fog rolling in, although it was moving quite slow, it's very close to the camera, and it may look a bit juddery as the interval does its thing, but we'll see. There were some nice scenes as the cloud disappeared, the colour of the sky changed, and we started to get these aircraft come across. There's one now from the west, I assume from Ireland, and I'm sure a load coming in from the United States. 1, 2, 3, 4, I can count 5 or 6 there now, banging across the skyline. We even had a hot air balloon just after sunrise. I'm not sure if that lens is going to pick it up. We're shooting at 20mm. But a nice sunrise anyway. Just enjoying a coffee and enjoying the views. The plan for today is, well, there isn't one. I came here with a loose plan of smashing out this time lapse of this shot with the lake and the cliff and the Moyle Seek at sunset into night with this Astro big night sky appearing, but that failed. So in an ideal world I would have secured that and then repositioned somewhere else for tonight or gone home. So I'm a bit undecided what to do. My current thinking is I'm going to enjoy a few coffees and get warmed up, and then check the weather conditions. If they're favourable for a night sky, I'll leave the tent here today, take my valuables with me and just wander around the summit area up here. The tent will be absolutely fine. I haven't seen anyone. It's very quiet, it won't be a problem. And then come back and try this time lapse again, looking this way. If there's any possibility of getting clouded in or fogged in again, maybe I'll take a late decision to reposition somewhere different. If we're going to get fogged in, at least it's from 2 different places. That's it. I'll see you later on. Day 2, night 2. I've decided to give this sunset time lapse another go with the same framing as yesterday, Cheese Lake and the mountain. But it hasn't started out too well. Lots of thick grey blue cloud, a few little breaks on the horizon giving us some colour, but they're few and far between. It's about an hour until sunset. I'm not sure which way this one's going to go. There's a chance of a little pocket of clear sky during the evening, but not anytime soon by the looks of it. I do know one thing though, you've got to be in it to win it, and I'm certainly in it. 2 nights in a row. I've had a lovely day today. Many hours soaking up these views in glorious weather conditions earlier. Clear blue skies, warm sun, no wind. Had a little walk up to the summit behind the camera. Went over to the stone cairn. Sat on the oldest chair in Wales. Now I'm going to hope for the best out of this sunset, cook up some dinner, and reassess about midnight as to what I do in the morning. The winds have got to pick up quite a lot, 30 to 40 knot gusts by 9 AM, so I need to bug out of here pretty early. The sunrise time lapse this morning, looking this way, didn't really work. There's far too much fog wafting down the hill here, blocked it all up. So I may give that another go tomorrow, or I may try this composition because I love it at sunrise as well. Until then, steak and sleep. Good morning and welcome to a very windy day 3. The winds picked up around midnight and really helped me out actually. They cleared out this fog and low cloud and helped me capture this composition that I wanted so badly with the night sky. It didn't quite join up with the sunset time lapse because there was a lot of low cloud in between. But when it did reveal itself, it was fantastic. The moon rose in the north that way and gave plenty of light on the lake and the hill that I was after so badly. It almost looked like daylight before finally it got to about that position and then completely blew out the night sky. But by that point I'd got a good few hours of time lapse done, which translates into about 5 seconds, but that's time lapsing for you. It must have been about 3 AM. I came out and repositioned the camera from that night lapse to prepare for sunrise, and we've had a good one. Not much cloud, bit of haze on the horizon, airplane contrails, light in the sky, bit of mist in the Welsh valleys out towards England and Oswestry, and there's a whole load more cloud out to the west over Snowdonia, which may suddenly come through at any point, I'm not sure. But until then I'm going to keep this rolling, enjoy the views, have a few brews. I could be a poet. I'll pack up my gear and head back down the mountain. I'll post a load of route info, equipment info on my website, chrishomer.uk. The time lapses will be for sale on there. And that's it. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching.